And welcome.
And
I'm smudging. Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the very first day of World Team League 2023 Summer Code S Round 1, day number 1. I'm, of course, your host, Light VIP, and with me, I'm joined by the lovely, the beautiful, the furry, the AsherBro. Oh.
I'm not a furry. Who hurt you, Light? Why did you ladder before the cast? I thought that was your rule.
It's my rule. It's my rule, Poppy. I broke my rule, Poppy. It's okay, Poppy. It's okay. It was worth it because we're here. We're here with the people, with the WTL, and yo, we got some new stats pages. Oh my god.
Yeah, they're back. They're looking a little bit more tidy this time. I like it.
Yeah, you love to see it. We got the lovely pentagrams, the hexagons, sorry, showing off here with between all the players. Oh, it's beautiful.
Oh,
it's beautiful.
I think he's got 69 of something.
Oh my god, he does. Oh, nightmare with the 69, Bobby. He's YCC. He should be.
Sounds like a dream, not a nightmare.
And here we go. We're gonna be getting into Team Basilisk versus Team ABYDOS. Both really high-profile teams currently in World Team League. You should have seen the intro with all the logos. A lot of teams, so many teams are now getting involved, and it's gonna be a bit of a banger, mate. We got some EU versus Korea matchups.
Oh yeah, I was having a look at some of the matchups for Basilisk versus ABYDOS, and this is a huge set to start things off with.
Oh yeah, this is massive, mate. This is arguably some of the top 3, top 4 teams in the entire league right now. So for them to face off in the first round, well, not of what's the seeding, Bobby? What's going on? Especially because these are actually 2 teams that qualified through Code A, if you recall. They're 2 quote-unquote new teams.
Yeah, and I mean, they had a pretty amazing run, both of them. I think Basilisk dropped 1 map, and that was one of the games that Roddy played as well. And I mean, him winning a map was insane as well.
Yeah, true. Oh, mate, that was so smooth when he took a map off of Goblin.
yeah. Nah, that was sick. That was hype.
It was
a bit
sick.
sad, but it was hype.
It was sick. It was sick. You're not wrong. And I'm sure we're gonna see more of him later on. But here we have him in the top right-hand corner for Team Basilisk. It is Reynor.
Yeah, if we do go to the ace match, of course we'll be seeing more of him. But here in the bottom left-hand corner for ABYDOS, it is Nightmare.
True. Right now they're just holding him back. Oh, he wants in, Bobby. He wants in. He wants out of the casting couch, but they're keeping him there until the ace match.
Gotta stop saying that. You really gotta stop saying that.
What do you mean? What's wrong with that? What do you mean?
Man, look at Reynor. He's got some advanced hood technique going on. He's got one side of the hood covering the headphone and the other side falling off of his head.
Yeah. It's like, you know how when you're in bed and it's like too hot, but like if you uncover yourself, it's too cold. So you have to
you just have one leg dangling.
Yeah, one leg hanging out. You take off like one sock or something, and you gotta like, you know, contort your body a little bit, but it's just right.
Yeah. I was just kind of thinking of like the kid at the back of the classroom, just like leaning back in their chair, maybe chewing on a glue stick or something.
Excuse me?
Maybe not the most flattering comparison.
I love it though. I love it. I love the hoodie meta. He's not quite smudging, you know. He's not like your in the previous season, like Scarlet, like encapsulated, you know, in darkness, or like Migs with his hood on. You know, he's getting ready for it. Like he's anticipating the smudge, but
yeah, Migs with the 4 a.m. starts with the hood on, just not wanting to be there at all.
Oh my god. But of course we have ourselves a game here, and I'm really curious to see how Nightmare can really perform, because he has been on the up and up recently. He has been taking down a lot of big names, a lot of Protoss names as well, and even some Zerg. So even though on paper he may kind of be the underdog, remember one thing, just keep it in the back of your mind: 69.
Okay. I will. I'll never forget it.
That's his score. That's the best score you can get, mate. That's just the best score.
It goes 69, 100, and 99.
Exactly.
Yeah, Nightmare going to be opening up with the Twilight Council opener. We've been casting a bit of EU StarCraft, so I'm not used to seeing a Twilight Council, but I'm happy to see it. I want to see some glaives.
Ooh, let's go, Poppy. Yeah, we do have that Twilight Council over, just not standard whatsoever. Going to be some aggression coming out from Nightmare. What kind of aggression? Ooh. We'll see as, he does abuse the high ground a little bit. Does pick off the drone.
Yeah, cute little trick there from Nightmare. The timing works out pretty nicely for him as well. So Reynor's defense for this has definitely been okay. He's been pushing this back for the meantime, maintaining his lings as well, but just losing one drone here.
I don't think I saw additional gateways. We have another gate now. We can't quite see the gases, but yeah, I was curious if it was gonna be a dark shrine.
Right. Yeah, this is a bit of an old school build. This is something that I see a lot when I watch people ladder, but I don't think I really see it in pro games that often. I'm guessing this is going to be the it's the fast DTs into the Archon drop.
Yeah, exactly. I think I saw this. I saw a variation of this a couple of days ago in ESL Asia, I want to say, but a much more committed version. We actually saw Glaive Adepts, and as Glaives is being researched, then you throw down the Dark Shrine as well, and you just go all in. It's disgusting.
Yeah, that's the old Zest 4-gate Glaives into DT. Yeah, that's a cool build. I like that one too, but this one is I feel like this one's gone pretty heavily out of the meta. I only really knew about it because Pig would do it on stream pretty much every PvZ. It definitely looks solid, but I feel like it must be refutable to not be more common.
Well, there's a lot happening right now because Reynor's going all in.
Okay.
He cut drones very early at 32 workers. He's flooding lings across the map. He's got a Roach Warren behind this. Reynor is going to be sending everything across the map. And we'll see what he can get done here. Okay, he's going to drone behind this, but he did cut workers very early.
Yeah, okay, so Reynor may be anticipating here that it was going to be a Glaives timing, but... oh, no, that's definitely a lot earlier than a Glaives timing. Yeah, definitely, it's interesting. The Spore's going to be finishing perfectly on time, and I love this. The Queen's serving double duty, kind of body blocking the DTs while also zoning out the Prism. So that's some really lovely stuff coming down from Reynor. Spore's in every base. He will be completely shutting this down.
Oh, exactly. The DTs do 0 damage. We have that influx of lings, and we go for a bit of a counterattack at that third base, but we do have plenty in position to defend. I believe one DT went down, but only one, and thankfully the others were able to survive, so we can transition into that Archon drop.
Yeah, for sure. And we do see some extra gateways going down. It is going to be a blink transition behind this. And having a look at everything so far, it looks like Reynor's slightly ahead, but nothing too crazy right now.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Yeah, nothing too crazy. I mean, again, I do think that Nightmare is in a pretty good position going into the mid game here. But we'll see what these DCs can get done. I'm a little bit surprised he actually hasn't morphed them into Archons yet. He's still looking for a little bit more damage. Oh!
Yeah, getting a little bit cheeky with them is going to be forcing out the Overseer. Just forcing Reynor as well to lose a few extra lings, maybe forcing out some extra units if he can. I don't mind this at all for him. He just has to be really careful not to lose them here.
Oh my, a little bit of his control. He does lose one of his DTs here. And again, it's something you don't really see too often for someone to stay on DTs and look to find even more damage there. And it looks like it hasn't really paid off here for Nightmare.
Yeah, I mean, DTs are good, but they do have their time, they have their place, and once that's passed, it's a little bit difficult to get too much done with them. But Nightmare, he is macroing pretty smoothly out of this. From here, we are seeing Reynor go into just his Roach speed, pretty standard safety setup.
It's like Nightmare's doing like his best like PvP hero impression. He's he's trying to dip in with those DTs whenever he can, and hey, he's gonna find a little bit more damage. And here we go. The main army is pushing on forward. Blink is now done for Nightmare.
Yeah, Blink is done. He's going to be putting on some significant pressure here. So Reynor going to need to flood in some units here, but Reynor once again just being very patient with his defense.
Oh, yeah, exactly. We do see a lot of target firing, though, and the Ravagers and the Roaches are going down, so this is a good trade for Nightmare, but he's not really doing too much economic damage. He's not breaking into any of the bases, not yet.
Yeah, it does look like maybe one of these queens is going to be falling, but no, the transfuses are very good. For you, reinforcing stalkers do come from the south, and they will be taking out one of those queens, but Reynor just going to accommodate them, let them fall deeper and deeper into creep before he goes for the attack again.
Yeah, I do love that Nightmare. He's not going for the natural. He's not going to get surrounded here. He goes for the queens instead. He dives once again into all these roaches, and again, he's done such a great job at keeping the roach count low. The boys have to be pulled.
Yeah, Reynor having to pull drones here, so he is taking this very seriously here from Nightmare, and he will be pushing this back, but not without taking a decent amount of drone damage there, and this fourth is going to be going down too. Nightmare, he is getting a lot of mileage out of this attack.
He really is. He killed the fourth, he killed 8 drones, he killed a lot of roaches and ravagers. You can see here 11 roaches and 4 ravagers alongside 2 queens, and he still keeps warping in, and Reynor just is having a hard time building up his army.
I love that they have a blink counter as well, how many times an individual stalker has blinked, but there we go. Looks like Reynor does have a healthy roach ravager amount here. That blink a little bit awkward there, getting stuck on the wall, but during all this, the DT getting in, getting a little bit of damage. So Nightmare, as you were saying, putting extra care, that extra attention that Hero has been using quite a lot in PvP into his DTs in this matchup, and reap some rewards.
I love it. I mean, I wouldn't love to play against it, but I love it. The hero DTs in more ways than one. 4 more drones go down. The economy of Reynor is not where it needs to be right now, but he does now have a decent roach army. He can push back the forces of Nightmare, and we can see Nightmare has recognized that, and he's transitioning. We have a second robo on the way alongside that bay.
Yeah, so Reynor has survived the pressure, and having a look at everything after this, I'm finding it hard to call who's ahead in this game because the drone count, the worker count is dead even. Reynor still hasn't been able to get up a 4th, so I'm curious what his plan from here is going to be.
Yeah, I'm curious as well. This 4th is on the way, but it's going to get delayed once again. In a way, Raynor's kind of being forced all in here. Reynor, he's just focusing on nothing but Roach Ravager production. He hasn't been droning for quite some time as he's pushing on forward.
These look like some really good trades for Nightmare.
Yeah, there's no links to buffer right now. The Ravager's being focused down.
Yeah, really nice micro coming out from Nightmare. All these stalkers are very low, so definitely wants to get on out of there. Beautiful Blink's going to be dodging out that bile. Behind this, he is going into disruptive production, but Reynor, he's getting his hive, getting the hydras, so he will have Vipers available once those disruptors do start coming out.
Yeah, this is a little bit worrisome though, because basically Reynor is now transitioning. Initially, he was maybe hoping to overwhelm with Roach Ravager, but now that he's transitioning, the fact that he's been stuck on 3 bases is going to come into play, and it is going to hurt him.
Yeah, as I said, you never want to be on parity with the Protoss when it comes to bases, and that's where Reynor finds himself here, and it's definitely an awkward spot. These Stalkers continuing to be a nuisance, keeping that creep spread back and taking some good trades here. Reynor finally going to be cleaning these up, getting these out of here.
Yeah, but mate, Nightmare, his harassment has been on fire. 5 more drones went down to Adept Harass in the middle of all that chaos. And once again, Reynor, he is behind in that worker count. He's setting up into that hive. He's going to Hydra Lurker, and that'll be a good way to slow the game down. And he needs to right now. But before that happens, before he can get any Lurkers, here come the Disruptors.
Yeah, here come the Disruptors. The Stalkers very aggressively blinking on top of all of the Roach Ravager, getting a heap of damage here, and Reynor might be in a big trouble here. Huge Nova going down, big sigh from Reynor as well, and I think Nightmare might have been able to do it here. He has 4 Disruptors pushing into creep. Reynor is on his last legs. He has to hold here.
I'm telling you, mate, your overall player score could be 100, but that is nothing in the face of a good 69, mate. As Nightmare is pushing on forward, he has his Disruptors, hasn't lost any so far, and the Novas are just going to zone away Reynor from his own 3rd base.
Mate, it's not in the face of it. That's the point.
I mean, the face is involved.
Disruptor's going to continue to zone out these roaches, but there is just way too many Stalkers here. Nightmare, he has done it. He will be taking the first game here for ABYDOS. GG.
Wow, GG, well played. Nightmare taking that first game here. A bit of an upset because as much as Nightmare has been looking in form recently, Reynor is still one of the best Zergs in the world, and to take that first game is a massive win here for him and his team.
Yeah, 100%. And I think it is very important that Nightmare does try to take some games here because Serral, Kyo, Trigger, SOS, they're going to be very tough sets. I mean, I'm not really sure what SOS's level is at the moment, but I know Trigger is very active and very strong, especially in PvP. So even for such a storied player as him, if he's not in good form, Trigger could absolutely be 2-0ing him now.
100%. Like, this is such a rough matchup overall, just because, sure, Cure's the ace player, but he's up against Serral, the best Zerg in the world. Like, it's so brutal how, it's so insane how stacked the lineup of Team Basilisk really is. But now it is going to be Reynor's map choice, and he has decided to put it all out on Dragon Scales.
All right. What is it, do you think, about this map that makes it nice for Zerg against Protoss? The first things that's coming to my mind is I know the third's very open, so that should be good for run bys.
Yeah, 100%. I think Reynor wants to be aggressive here on Dragon Scales. I think he was trying to do so on Royal Blood, but he was really struggling to really get too much momentum going his way, and that's why we saw him, you know, cutting workers a lot of times actually, and being forced to re-drone and being forced to expand when he didn't really want to. I think here, maybe he's getting ready to vent his frustrations.
You think we're going to see an angry Reynor coming out here?
We're going to see the hoodie. It's going to encapsulate the whole hair, mate. He's gonna evolve, Papi. Let's go.
Do you think it's more intense if he takes it off or puts the whole thing on?
Oh, take it off, Papi. Ay.
Oh, is your stream dying?
Oh, it is, Papi. It is.
Okay.
Yeah. But in the bottom right hand corner of Dragon Scales, we have representing Team Basilisk. It is Reynor.
And in the top left for ABYDOS, this is a Nightmare.
All right, here we go. And yeah, we do see, again, Nightmare's already done his job so far. He's already put a point on the board for his team, the least that he could do. Can he go all the way? Is he crazy enough? Is he good enough right now here today to 2-0 Reynor? That would be wild.
It absolutely would be. And I think one of the interesting things about picking a larger map like this is Nightmare has shown that he does like to be aggressive. I know in general, he's a very fast player, a very mid-game orientated player. I wouldn't be surprised to see him, maybe pull out some kind of glaives timing. It is something that's pretty heavily in the meta just because there's so many different glaive builds and there's so many ways to disguise it as well.
Yeah, and I think that's a great way to metagame the series, right? Because if you remember, game one, Reynor got into his own head that it was glaives, right? He saw the Twilight Council opener, and that's it. That's all he saw. And he assumed that he had to cut workers and get ready for something that never came because it was DTs instead. So already Nightmare is kind of playing around with the idea like, hey, even if I go for a Twilight Council, you don't know what it's going to be.
Do people still do the Hush build with the slow zealots?
I haven't seen that in a while.
Yeah, okay.
But I wouldn't put it past Nightmare, you know? I mean, hey, he just opened up DTs, and that isn't really popular either.
True. Well, here we go. Reynor is going to be going for a nice early Overlord scout here, so he really wants to see what the tech is going to be from Nightmare. Doesn't want to get surprised again like last time.
Yeah, he doesn't want to get caught with his pants down. Quickly observing here the state of the players. It looks like Reynor, he has not changed the positioning on his hoodie. It is still covering half or a quarter of his head. So it looks like he's still maintaining his mental.
Yeah, Nightmare being a little cheeky there as well. He's going to be throwing down that tech away from the Overlord.
Yeah.
Just some typical chaos server player. never gets scouted.
Oh, but the slow link comes in, and there we go. We have confirmation. It is going to be a Twilight Council opener once again from Nightmare. But what exactly will this be? Are we going to pull out of gases and go for Glaive Adepts? And even if we do go for Glaive Adepts, how many gateways are we going to be working with?
All of them. Oh. Yeah, there we go. Glaives does get started up. See that immediate chrono going down. So we are going to be hitting a bit of a timing here. A couple extra gateways going down. So here we go. Can Reynor piece this all together?
If I'm not mistaken, I don't believe that Nightmare pulled out of gas either. So this could mean additional gates. This could also mean a faster transition as well. I'm very curious because at the moment, I believe we're only working with 3 gateways. Oh, there it is!
Oh, okay. So
Ugh.
3 gate glaives into DTs. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, what was I casting recently with
no.
Yakos? Oh no, the wall's not a wall. At least they see everything. Oh my
Hey,
god.
what is this? Oh, big shame here for Nightmare. Takes huge damage, and with a sharp build like this, even losing 4 probes can really affect your timing.
Oh, it really can. Ay, ay, ay. And it's coming back to me. I was casting with Yaku yesterday in Kung Fu Cup, and there we go. We cancel the Dark Shrine, and we throw down a Robo.
Yeah, makes total sense. I mean, especially in this matchup, the early DTs really are not going to do much if your opponent is prepared with an Overseer, and that's exactly what Reynor's going to be doing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's exactly what he's going to be doing here, and again, Nightmare is going to be hoping for an overreaction. We have those spores on the way. We have that faster lair. We're going to have an Overseer as well. Nightmare still has potential for damage, but we already see that third Nexus on the way. Thankfully, Nightmare also didn't commit into 4 gate glaive adepts. It was only 3, so it's going to be a more easier transition.
Yeah, but meanwhile, Reynor with a very clean, sharp response to this. Has that lair finishing up at the perfect time. Has the roaches on the way as well. Already droning back up a little bit here, so he is looking to be in a very comfortable spot. But yeah, as you were saying, Nightmare just going for a very light commitment here. Not even going to be warping in extra adepts after these first 6.
Yeah, this does mean that Nightmare's third base is going to be exposed. It does mean that he is vulnerable to a counterattack, but thankfully for Nightmare, Reynor is droning right now. He's droning, he's focusing on his defense, he's waiting for the DTs that he scouted to come and reveal themselves, and with that with Reynor taking that defensive position, Nightmare can take advantage of that and tech up in every which way.
Yeah, that's exactly what he's going to be doing. This is something that you can definitely take advantage of if you do as well perceive yourself as the weaker player, is to cut a few corners here and there, try to just get ahead any way that you can. But looks like Nightmare, yeah, looking very comfortable in this position, actually. I suppose he's probably played out a lot of games where he's had to, you know, move around, throw things around. He is a very aggressive player, so you do end up knowing all the ins and outs of what you need to do if you get scouted.
Yeah, I mean, Protoss can be quite malleable in this matchup, and we can see that come to fruition here and now. We do see Roach speed is on the way, but Reynor is still in the middle of droning. He only made a handful of Roaches to be safe, and even if he did go for a counterattack, it looks like we will have enough Disruptors to defend. Nightmare has survived long enough for that to happen, but actually, Reynor is moving out across the map.
Yeah, looks like Reynor's going to be putting on some pressure here behind that, getting the Evo, getting the Bane Nest as well, so I think he is looking to go for a bit of a longer game here. Just wants to make sure that he's keeping Nightmare honest here.
Yeah, exactly. We do have a bit of a catch here. The Adepts do get caught out by the Roaches and the Ravagers. 2 of them already getting picked up, but this is going to be buying some time. This is going to be giving Nightmare the time he needs to build up his defenses at his third base, get his shield batteries, get his Disruptors.
Yeah, an Immortal and a shield battery. Sometimes that's all you need, as we are going to be having Reynor dipping in, throwing down those bars, having a little poke, but he doesn't really like what he sees. He does like what he's going to get over here, though, and that is plenty of probe damage. The wall, once again, wide open.
The wall has never been a wall. Oh my god. The Lings slip on in, 3 probes going down, a lot of lost mine time as well. The probes come back, but again, we don't really have too much to defend and clean up these things. At the same time, the Roaches and the Ravagers are trying to catch these Disruptors unawares.
Yeah, looks like Reynor trying to trade out with the Stalkers if he can without being taken down by the Disruptors. These Lings just going to continue to run around the base, be very annoying for Nightmare to deal with. It is, yeah, super annoying as a Protoss to deal with things running around just because you lack a bit of mobility there. He will eventually clean those up, but behind this, Reynor, he's been able to get his 4th up. He's been able to drone up to 75, and now he's just pumping a Ling Bane Roach.
He's in the house, Pop. He's in this 2 Banelings in the main of Nightmare. They're going in! They're going in, Bobby! Nightmare, is he looking? Is he looking?
Oh, classic move there. 8 probes going to be going down. Not the kind of surprise that you want to see here as the Protoss, but here we go. Nightmare once again knocking on the door of Reynor with plenty of Blink Stalkers. Beautiful force fields there, going to be taking out some of those Roaches as well. And these 4 Disruptors, that's a formidable force to be coming up against.
It really is. Even though Reynor is up in supply right now with 4 Disruptors, anything can happen. That can be more than enough for the Protoss players who are going to try and force themselves up this ramp. We do have a massive wave of Lings behind this. Adepts come in for a little bit of harass, distracting Reynor.
Yeah, really nice timing there. Reynor having to fight with his drones against Glaive Adepts, never what you want to be seeing there. And once again, Nightmare pushing up against his base and zoning him out. Reynor in a very awkward spot here.
Yeah, but he has to be careful because 2 Novas just went off. We only have 2 Novas remaining here. The third one does pop off again, zoning away the army. 7 drones went down to the harass, but now Reynor can focus on the fight.
Yeah, that's exactly what he's going to do. Massive surround. The Bailey's going to be hunting for any extra units that he can find. He does want to keep those safe, and the Nova's not really going to be connecting on too much here. Decent shot there, taking out the Banelings, but Nightmare desperately trying to get out of there. I would love to see him save at least one of these disruptors. He gets 2.
Yeah, that was a bit of a messy engagement from Nightmare. He lost so much of his army. We saw like 1 good Purification Nova, but everything else did go down. Only 2 disruptors remain. At the same time, it looks like we have more Adept Harass across the map, but that has been cleaned up.
Yeah, Reynor's such a fast player. He is more than capable of dealing with that while microing on this front, and he will just be continuing to put the pressure on.
Hey, did you see the picture-in-picture, Bobby? Oh. That was smooth. As here we go, we do see Reynor getting ready for that assault. He's up to 67 workers. He's ready to go in. Oh my god, he's looking!
Ooh. Yeah, we have this Prism acting spotter here, and just doesn't get the snipe off on that disruptor, but the army supply is very heavily in Reynor's favor here.
It really is. Bailey's going to roll in towards the third base. The Stalkers are going to try and hold the line, but they will be going down. The Bailey's do get into the mineral line, and there is no reaction. The mineral line is going to fall.
Yeah, Probe is falling left and right. Stalk is falling left and right as well. This right-hand side completely cordoned off by the units of Reynor. That was beautifully done. We'll have a recall to bring them back, but all it is Stalkers now, and Ling Ravager, a fantastic fighting force against this army.
Yeah, it really is, and every probe is fallen here at the third base. The Stalker control is good, it's cute, but the numbers just aren't there. Not anymore here for Nightmare. We can see Reynor popping off a little bit, leaning into his chair. He's going to take it over to the face, but it's okay. He can do that. It's fine.
Yeah, he's like, mate, get out of my game.
I want to play some more League of Legends, Papi.
Yeah.
And GG gets called. Reynor is going to be fighting back here, taking game number 2 and tying up the series.
GG, nicely done by Reynor there. And I do feel like there are a few little key mistakes there with Nightmare letting that wall down, getting that probe damage in his base. I mean, the Banelings from inside the house as well, getting a very good amount of damage.
Exactly. Reynor was all over him, and Nightmare, as you were saying, just slipping up a couple too many times. And Reynor is a good enough player where he can take advantage of that. He can take advantage of you. But as a reminder to everyone in the chat, this is a best of 2, not a best of 3. So we are tied up 1-1, and we are moving on to the next matchup. And again, I do think that this is still a good sign for ABYDOS. I still think that Nightmare taking that first game against Reynor is going to be big here for this Team League match.
Yeah, absolutely. But speaking of favorites, we have an insane one here. Serral versus Cure. Absolute banger of a match coming up. I mean, we got the pleasure of casting Serral versus Oliveira just yesterday.
Last night. Yeah. Last night.
It was last night. Okay.
Yeah.
And yeah, Serral looked incredible in the matchup. I think it's going to be very difficult for Cure to withstand what he can do. But Cure, of course, always unpredictable, has so many crazy build orders in his repertoire, and that makes this very interesting.
Yeah, I love how it just worked out in such a way that Team Basilisk and Team ABYDOS, they fielded their ace players here in Game 2, and they're going to be facing each other as well. I do think that's a little bit unlucky for ABYDOS. I think ideally they want Cure against one of the other players, so he can maybe even 2-0 against Serral. We have to favor Serral here in this series, but Cure is no slouch. He's the ace player for a reason. He is one of the best Terrans in the world, and I want to make a series out of this. I want him to go toe-to-toe with Serral. It's going to be a tough one, but not impossible.
And maybe they think Cure can 2-0 Serral.
Oh. Yeah, maybe. I mean, if you remember, Cure was the player that popped off in the finals of WTL last season for Dragon Phoenix Gaming. He all-killed Kai Z, if you recall. Reynor, Oliveira, and Spirit.
I don't remember, but that's sick. Oh, here we go. This is something that I was looking forward to from when I
Oh.
heard that Serral got signed on to Basilisk and will be playing the World Team League.
Yeah.
It's the Hexagon, and we have it 10, 10, 10. 8 in
8
strategy?
strategy?
Oh, no, I think that's okay. I guess he
Yeah.
doesn't...
He's
he
not
does
creative.
all in a bit more now, but he doesn't really
Hmm.
need to or do it that much.
I think I would have agreed with the 8 in strategy, but we saw him go for a Ling Hydra all in yesterday, you know? It's like,
It wasn't very good.
You're not wrong, okay? Oh my god. But unfortunately, Serral is too shy of the 96, the reverse 69, which is maybe the only other thing better than a 69.
Okay.
But regardless, we also have Cure here with a lot of 9s, no 10s, but still a world-class player. I feel like a B is a bit harsh, though. I feel like he should at least be an A, not gonna lie.
Yeah, I remember thinking that with quite a few players. I think Beyond was a B or something.
Yeah.
Something crazy like that.
Yeah. It's like, what? Who the hell is assigning these points, mate? As they are going to be facing off here on Dragon Scales. We're going to be appearing on this map once again. And yeah, apparently, I guess Cure, he has more strategy. Is that what that is? I can't quite see. What color is he?
Yeah.
Yeah, Serral's on top of Cure.
Yeah, no, that's very confusing how the gray is the overlap.
Yeah. It's a little bit odd here, but Cure is still a world-class player. He still can make this work. And both players have had quite some time to prepare for this WTL match. They knew ahead of time the matchups and the maps as well.
Yeah, so they will be prepared for Dragon Scales. I would be not too opposed to Cure maybe going for a 2-base all-in here. It's something that he did a lot last year. He hasn't been doing it as much recently, but this is a good map for it. And if you're looking for a cheeky build to take a map off a player like Serral, it could be it.
Yeah, I wouldn't be opposed to something like that either. Cure, known sometimes for his aggression, he has had success with that against a player like Dark. Maybe that can work against Serral as well. Let's get some predictions going in the chat. I say that, I guess we have a prediction game going right now. If you're in the chat, if you're listening right now, and if you're not a part of our Discord server, you should be, because we have the prediction game. I think Kuro even has that on the overlays right now when it comes to what we believe the score is going to be.
I can't remember what I predicted. That's fine.
I think looking at it, I think the majority of people... Yeah, 2-0, I think. Or is it 1-1? 1-1 is yellow. Oh,
I predicted 2-0. What did you?
Yeah.
You predicted 1-1, I think.
I think I did. Yeah. I think Yaku went with me, and we went 1-1. Yeah.
Crazy.
Let's go, Poppy. Let's go. Asking who has the ping difference. I believe game 1 is going to be on West, and game 2 is going to be on Central. They're going to alternate. I don't know which one's on West and which one's on Central, but that's how they will split that up.
Okay. Cool.
Oh.
I always forget about that, but that is pretty significant.
True. Yeah. That will affect the overall play styles of how they want to approach the game itself and what their plans are for each and every map as well. Oh, so yeah, I mean, we're focusing a lot on Cure. We saw Serral be a little bit cheeky against Oliveira and go for a Hydra all-in. Would he be bold enough to do that in a best of 2?
I just don't know if there's too much like that for Zerg vs Terran.
Fair.
But here we go. We are going to be kicking things off in the top left-hand corner of Dragon Scales for Basilisk. This is Serral.
Oh, and spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have Cure. For ABS. Oh my god, look at how silky smooth Serral's hair is. It's like, look at it. Damn.
It's something.
Oh my god. All right. Well, we are going to be diving into this here, into this lovely, beautiful ZVT between the ace players of our two teams. Oh, let's go.
Hey, what about Kyo? Look how shiny his hair is.
It's shiny. It's shiny, Buck.
Good shampoo.
Yeah. I want to touch it.
You ruin it. Don't touch it.
And Serral's going for a standard hatch gas pool opener here from his own side. Likewise, Kira, nothing too crazy either. I guess I'm curious because Kira has been. You were talking about how like he is a master of all these builds and he's willing to do different openers. I was curious if he was willing to go for something like a CC first or something, but I guess not. I guess not.
Yeah, it is something he's been playing a lot, but I think makes a lot of sense for someone like Serral. Going to show the respect. Going to play very straight up standard player.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's going for the SUV scout as well, just to confirm. He's going for a Reaper follow-up as well. Oh, Serral! You see that? No hands.
Oh.
He waved his arms in the air.
Who took the wheel?
He was controlling the wheel with something else, man.
With his mind.
With his mind, Papi. Oh my god. Take the wheel, Papi. Take the wheel. Yeah, pretty standard openers so far. Reaper just dipping on in, looking to try and trade out with Lings. Maybe even get a drone if possible.
Yeah, we do have this little dance back and forth with the Reaper as we normally do. And behind this, just having a look at what Cure's going to be going for. It looks like it is going to be a 3cc setup. So just playing very standard, at least so far.
Yeah, very standard play out of Cure. It's possible that he may be looking to do the Team GP maneuver, Papi, which is...
Oh, yeah.
You play standard in game 1, and then in game 2, that's when you whip out the cheddar, Papi. The cheddar. Oh.
Yeah, I 100% agree with what you're saying here, Light. Playing standard against Zerg is a guaranteed loss.
You're an animal, Papi. You're an animal. That's
copium.
That's your reasoning for never playing standard, Papi. You're like, man,
I'll play standard if it's a worse player. But here we go. We are going to be having that Reaper just skirmishing a little bit back and forth with the Queens here. And yeah, I think it just looks like it's going to be a very standard game, which should suit Serral just fine. I mean, we saw it a lot yesterday in his CVPs as well as the CVTs, that he loves to get into this kind of mid-game setup where he has, whether it be Hydraling Bane or Ravagerling Bane, where he can just set this crazy tempo where he's just rolling in over and over again. His constant macro allowing him to have these non-stop waves of attack, and it's just up to the opponent to keep up.
It's very Su-esque from back in the day, back when he was in prime, in his prime, I should say, not on prime. But yeah, where Serral, he just drones up to 90 so effectively, so quickly, and then his macro is just relentless, just constantly remaxing and not giving you any room to breathe. We saw that against Oliveira. We could see that here against Cure. I'm sure Cure is aware of the power and the potential of Serral, and yeah, I'm very surprised and maybe I'm surprised to see that Cure has decided to just open up the way that he has.
Yeah, 3cc Banshee. He's playing StarCraft.
Yeah, let's go, Bobby. Let's go. I wish I could play StarCraft today. I didn't.
Glad it didn't happen. Put it away.
As we have that cloak on the way, Serral getting his lair at the 4-minute 30 mark. Very crisp, very on time. We've got that Baneling Nest as well, so everything looking quite standard, at least from the side of the Zerg player.
Very crisp, very on time, very fuyo.
Oh, fuyo. We're animals, Papi.
Gonna get sued.
Oh, God. Gases are being taken. We're droning up as well. Cure, with this opener, he does have a decent amount of Hellions, but he hasn't really been too active with them. Like, Serral, his creep shred hasn't really been slowed down.
Yeah, I mean, Serral, he's so active with his queens. It's very difficult to do too much there. We do see he's perfectly prepared with all these spores, and he is just, going to be going into this kind of standard Ling Bane setup here.
Oh, yeah, but here we go. The Banshee's going to dive into the main base. They're looking for a queen.
Nah, Serral's too good. You could never lose a queen. Queens are invincible.
Oh, they're too good, Papi. They're too good. The queens will barely survive, but the Banshees have been able to, dish out a little bit of damage. They're still alive, looking for some more workers wherever they can.
Yeah, trying to find what he can. There's not going to be anything there for him. Serral doesn't leave any loose drones anywhere. And behind this, yeah, we did just see him. We see Cure macroing on up. Both players going to be preparing for that typical Terran 7-minute push. And I do wonder if Cure is going to look to play a late game here. It seems pretty wild to go for a late game on this map against a player like Serral as well.
That's what I'm saying. I was struggling to really like put it into words, but like the confidence, you know, the gravitas of Cure to go for this kind of play against Serral on Dragon scales of all maps as well, like, you know, damn, you know, maybe
he's got the Rio swagger.
Yo, he's got the Rio swagger, mate. He's the one. He believes he's got the 69 Vapi, and maybe he does. You know, I want to see it. As we do see, so we're getting ready for a bit of a bailing run by on the right-hand side. Meanwhile, the main army of Cure is moving out on the left.
Yeah, these Hellions doing a wonderful job of spending as much time near the logos as possible, so we get a beautiful look at the W. No way! What? What the hell?
The contamination! Like there's 1 second on the timer, you can see it! It's stuck!
No way!
Oh, the Bailings are rolling in at the same time. Here we go, Kira's pushing up that ramp, and I don't know if he does react in time. The camera was there, but Serral's getting ready for this round.
That is filth.
Oh.
Do you reckon, can you contaminate add-on?
An add-on? We need some
could you contaminate combat shields?
That'd be
because that would be huge.
That would be huge. And here we go. The Master Round is coming in. The Ling Bane rolling on forward here, and we do see Serral cleaning this up.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That was not an efficient cleanup. That was a really beautiful spot there that those tanks were tucked away in, with the Hellbats protecting them as well. That felt, at least to me, to be a pretty bad trade for Serral.
Yeah. Those tanks were in an insane position. The camera panned away, but the tanks, before they died, they actually brought down those rocks, and I think the rocks landed on a queen. I don't really know.
Okay.
It looked that way at least, but, you know, the shout out to the WTL caster, the Observer did pan away at that last moment. At the same time, we do have a double drop here on the right-hand side. Marines are pushing on forward. This hatchery is looking a little bit exposed. The Ling Bane was very out of position.
You know, we don't need to see what happened to that queen. The rocks go down, and whatever happens, happens, you know?
Smurge, papi. Aye. And Curie's fighting some damage. He may have lost his tanks in the end and lost a lot of his army, but this drop play has worked wonders, and Serral is stuck now on these two bases. Curie is not stopping, by the way. He's moving out across the map, this time with his upgrades.
Yeah, continuing to be active with those Banshees, definitely the hallmark of a very good Terran player there, as we do have that 2-2 on the way. He is going to be looking to put those tanks in that nasty spot once again, but I think Serral might be able to get on top of this in time. Ooh, those tanks are in such a brutal spot here. I don't love that Serral keeps going for this fight, but he will be able to clean them up.
Yeah, he does get every single tank once again. It may be worth dealing with those rocks as well. That does make it a little bit awkward for Serral to engage there.
Yeah, as the Observer pointing out there, not the best trades here so far from Serral, but not quite 2-1 yet, so he should be okay. He does have his Vipers on the way, but he is struggling to get his 5th base up and running.
Yeah, I feel like once the Vipers do hit the field, Serral is going to have much more efficient trading and hopefully have the room to drone up a little bit more as well. He's still stuck at the 78 worker count, still not the most ideal economy here for Serral, and that is what's kind of bringing him down overall in these fights.
Yeah, certainly, and there we go. Those rocks going to continue to be used to great effect, as you were pointing out. Might be good for the Zerg to break that if he does get time eventually, but Cure going to be looking to get these drops going, put the pressure on, really testing the multitask of Serral.
Yeah, here we go. Double drop towards the center. We do have a massive Doom drop into the main base as well, trading very efficiently against all those Marines. Banshees coming in on the right-hand side. Not enough energy for a cloak, though, so it looks like the Banshees are going to get fended off for the time being, but I just can't believe they're still alive from the early game.
He cares about his units. You can't just be throwing them away. That's what Zerg players do. We have to show that we're civilized, we're different.
You're not.
No, worse. We're much worse. As we do have these Marines going to be training with the Lynx and Banes. Pretty Healthy trades there with those 2-2. Such a good power spike there for the Terran as we do have Cure setting up that fourth base, getting his extra CCs on the way. And for now, Serral hasn't really been able to get across the map, and he's been struggling to get the creep out as well. It's just, it's such a big deal, all the pressure that Cure's been putting on.
It really is, but finally Serral has reached that 89, that 90 drone count. He's made it here, but is it too late? That's the question. We have our Vipers out. We have a couple of power bombs being sent out as well. Curious pushing in on the right-hand side. This is spotted by Serral.
I love how calculated Serral is. Those 4 Banelings that went across were exactly the amount of Banelings that were needed to do that job, as we do have Cure continuing to trade out these Marines as well as he can. He is just going to be taking some very nice trades here as he does start to gear up for the later game. He's got his third factory on the way, Ghost Academy on the way as well, but Serral isn't really teching into anything too crazy just yet. It's something we saw a lot from him yesterday, where if the game isn't slowed down, if he isn't forced to go for later tech, he really won't.
Yeah, exactly. Lingbane Hydra is all you need. It's all you want. As the Banshees are finally... one of them is finally going to be going down. The other still barely does survive. Dropper Lords being set up by Serral as well. 4 on the way. Burrow, Pattern Glance. Ooh, it looks like we may even try and support our army with Infestors, with Fungals. Up!
Oh, he's not looking.
He wasn't looking.
Yeah, I love it. Serral getting very creative with his attacks, and it's a beautiful thing to see. He is setting up a Nidus as well, so yeah, the Nidus, the Infestors, Burrow, so many harass options that are going to make this kind of mid to late game here something where he can start to flex his multitask and start to make it chaotic. It's something that we see Dark do so brilliantly, and it's really cool to see Serral doing it.
I want to see the tri-pronged attack. Here we go. We have the drop going into the main base. We have a Nidus that can be set up as well. We have the main army that's going to be pressuring the front lines here. Can Cure keep up? And where is the Nidus going to land? And what is even in it?
Yeah, I suppose this Hydraling Bane can try to bust the 5th, and I think the Nidus could just go down to support these Lings.
Yeah, we should be seeing a Nidus into main base. There we go, the Nidus is in the main. The Lings are going to wreak some havoc. They're forcing Cure to turn back around, and that's the cue. That's go time for Serral.
Yeah, pretty quick response by Cure, but he's going to have to control his army at the front. This PF 100% going to be going in down there, but there are plenty more Banelings where that came from. Serral rolling on through, making very good contact with the bio. He will then leave, and meanwhile in the main, it looks like Cure has cleaned things up. So beautiful stuff from Cure, controlling on both sides at once.
Yeah, but all the Lings are still alive. They get a couple more SCVs, and this was still worth it for Serral because, sure, the Lings were cleaned up in the main base, but that doesn't matter. Even forces a scan with that Burrow as well. He got 20 SCVs and that 5th base. The entire planetary did fall, and now Serral instantly remaxes. We've seen this before, Papi.
Yeah, this is what he loves to do. He's just shown that when he gets momentum going with the Hydraling Bane, he just has the most insane macro. He has such clean play that he can just keep these attacks rolling in one after another.
Yeah, exactly. Just keep sending wave after wave of Ling, Bane, Hydra, and eventually the Terran will crumble. Cure is trying desperately to reestablish that 5th base, but Serral is getting ready to just dive on this, waiting for a couple of upgrades to finish up, +2 ranges, +2 melees on the way. We even have a couple of lurker upgrades as well, just in case Serral does see an opportunity to tech up in transition.
Yeah, we do have a Nidus here. This is something that we saw him doing against Oliveira that was really, really nice as he went into the late game, is mining out his bases. It's a very important detail in the ZBT late game and something that we don't see all players doing. But here we go. Cure is going to be gearing up to go into this kind of mech-based late game here. Is Serral faking a drop alert attack again?
Yeah, he's faking a drop alert attack. Here we go. He's forcing the attention of Cure into the main, and here we go. Once again, Serral dives in.
Yeah, he forces units to be used over there. The Viper's going to be running in, yanking these tanks in. It's not going to be the most efficient trade, but we saw from Serral yesterday, it doesn't have to be the most efficient trade. If you can never get this 5th base mining as the Terran, you are going to be starved out. And all the meanwhile, Serral is mining out your bases.
Yeah, in the midst of that fight, he also borrowed a couple of Lings underneath that CC as well. Serral instantly remaxes. He's taking the bases of Cure. Instantly, he does Maynard. He knows how important these mineral patches are.
The Nidus is so cool here. I haven't really seen this before, but this is kind of like just a teleporting device for your bases on the edges here, where you can defend them just by having this quick reinforce here. You can Maynard the drones. If it gets attacked, you can get those drones out of there. Like, very clever. I really love this system that Serral is using in ZBT.
I think the biggest thing is the drones, right? Like, here we go. We have the Marines coming for a bit of harassment. The drones can go back into that Nidus. At the same time, here we go. Serral is diving on in. He's going to be able to reset that tank count, at least on the high ground.
Yeah, but there we go. The ghosts are starting to come out for Cure, and this is where the efficiency can really start to get brutal. It's something we saw Oliveira doing extremely well, but something that we didn't see Oliveira being able to do so much is these little harassing drops, and Cure has afforded himself enough space with how well the early game went that he can do things like this.
Yeah, exactly. There we go. The drops once again hitting the left-hand base as well. We do have a couple of Banelings to defend, though. The drones are going to be safe for the time being. Serral once again instantly remaxing, looking to go for another big fight. But what's scary is that we now have ghosts. Like, Cure has been trading a little bit more efficiently each time.
Yeah, so there we go. We have the Hellbats, we have Liberators and tanks being set up. Cure trying to find his most efficient army.
Yeah, he is looking for that, and Serral is looking for a way in. He's looking for a weak point. We have Changelings going up the ramp towards the 5th base to see what the setup is going to be looking like. And here we go. He dives in once again. This time, that's an orbital, not a planetary. The SCVs!
Oh, the SCVs, they will actually get back to mine. Serral being a merciful god here.
Oh my god. So many of them bunched up, but they will be able to escape in the end. Another scan is forced to once again re-land at that CC. Serral getting ready for another push. Oh, but we have a drop across the map.
Yeah, the drop going to be running on in. All these drones going down. And yeah, as I was saying, this is something that we didn't really see Oliveira get to do too much of yesterday. And it seemed like the one thing that was missing from his late game coming up against Serral, where he just never had the speed or momentum to get his own economic damage done. And Cure, he is able to do that.
Yeah, but is it too little too late because the Banelings are rolling on in? We have the blinding clouds on top of the majority of these tanks as well. And what I'm worried about is looking at that SCV count. Every single time it gets lower and lower, and Cure hasn't been replenishing them. He's down to 42 workers.
Yeah, good point. And that's a very interesting thing here, because I'm not sure if he has the bank necessarily to supermax on such a low worker count. He doesn't really have the orbital count either. So yeah, I wonder whether it's a deliberate thing that he wants to keep continually replacing his SCVs with army, or if it's something where he's just not quite aware how many SCVs he's lost at this point.
Yeah, it's possible, because that is just, as you were saying, just affecting his ability to create his army to max out after all these fights. And it's once again becoming a game of attrition here between Serral and the Terran. In this case, it's going to be Cure. You see a drop on the left-hand side dealing some nice damage. Ooh.
What was that tank doing though?
I think it got yoinked.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. I was like, why did he tank there?
How did he get there? Tank goes down. Do you see the bottom left-hand base is going to be cleaned up here? So the drop putting in a lot of work, but here we go. Serral, he's just diving in.
Yeah, we're seeing the neural as well. So this tank going to be fighting for the enemy, taking out some of these SCVs here. Does go down at the end of that as well. But Cure, every time he takes this defense, he's getting further and further forward with it. And that, to me, is the sign that there's some success here for Cure. We didn't see as much of this with Oliveira as well, where he was taking efficient trades, but he was never really making progress, where it feels like Cure, he is starting to make some progress. I do worry, as you were saying, with that low SCV count, if he can't reach max out and do something with that max out, he is eventually just not going to be able to replace this army.
Yeah, and speaking of, here we go, one big potentially final fight. The blinding clouds once again blankets all of these tanks. The Banelings roll on forward as well, and these are losses that I don't think Cure can replace.
Yeah, this is where it starts to look pretty nasty, that low SCV count, where you can only dribble in the replacements to this army piece by piece. And I mean, I don't think he minds too much losing bio. He's mostly just going to be replacing with Hellbats, with Liberators, to ghosts and tanks. But the one thing it does feel like he's going to be missing if he doesn't have the money is those single drops that clean up the edge bases.
Yeah. I mean, the medevac count has been getting lower and lower, and I don't think we've been really replacing them. We've been hyper-focused on Liberators and tanks, and I don't blame Cure. I feel like they're the priority right now, but they're allowing Cure to survive, but they're not like a win condition. As here we go, Serral has Remax. He's going in once again, and I feel like gaining ground is no longer a thing that Cure is doing here.
Yeah, I feel like this might be it as well. He just doesn't really have the ghost count to trade efficiently with this Ling Bane. Serral going deeper and deeper with every attack here. And there's just no more SEVs at that fourth. And he is continuing to take these edge bases. He's not mining them, but he is preventing Cure from taking them.
Exactly. It's just been a death by 1,000 cuts here for Cure. I want to commend him a little bit because I feel like, for the most part, he's kept the majority of his ghosts alive throughout this game. I think he's lost very few ghosts this game, but it's just the tanks, the SCVs, just a lack of lack of sixth base even from Cure. He's running out of steam.
Yeah, I mean, we have a Hellbat drop now headed out towards this edge base, but Serral once again diving on in, taking out the tanks, might even be able to get on top of the ghost here, and he takes out the CC. That is disaster for Cure. His supply has plummeted, and you can see he's realizing it now. GG is called, and Serral, man, you can see some disbelief in Cure's face. It's really hard to tell where that game got away from him.
Yeah, GG, well played, Serral. Just an insane. He has this insane ability of just taking control of the entire map, of taking your bases, taking your money, and yeah, just encasing you here and keeping you on 4 base or 5 base economy. Cure really struggling to break out from that. He did have some really nice drops earlier, as you were saying, but they did slow down over time.
Yeah, Serral has this way. He's like a torch illuminating the dark. Where ZBT. A lot of people say it's kind of hard. Maybe Serral makes it look broken, but he's just revealing that it is broken.
You're an animal, Bobby. You're an animal. He's a light in the dark. He's showing the way, Bobby. Showing the way forward here. How do you defeat these Terran players, mate? Just play like Serral. Just have godlike macro. It's insane. And it wasn't just macro, to be fair. Like Serral, he was making some nice moves. He had the massive Dune drop into the main. He had the Niduses. He had the borrowed Lings as well. Every single borrowed Ling forcing a scan out, and that does add up over time.
Just a move 10 times though. He did, as you were saying, he set these wheels in motion with the Ling drop and the Nidus and the attack all at the same time. So he was kind of sitting back until then, and then he made all this stuff happen all at the same time, and that's what put Cure on the defensive. And once he had that momentum, as we saw yesterday, he just never let that momentum go.
Yeah, exactly. It was really impressive to bear witness here. Serral, his ZVT is insane, and here he is once again in the bottom right-hand corner of Neo Humanity for Team Basilisk, Serral.
And in the top left-hand corner of the map, it is the Red Terran, Cure.
Oh, vámonos, papi, vámonos.
Let's go.
And, as intense and as, yeah, I'm going to stick with intense on that one, as that game was. If you remember, winding it all back here to the start of that game, mate, the Team GP maneuver.
True.
Well, first, by the way.
Of course, yeah. It's a European player playing Neo Humanity. You have to. That's what we do. We go full first.
True.
Me and all my Zerg friends.
So Serral is going for a pool hatch gas opener here. Going to be a little bit aggressive on Neo Humanity. But again, this is Cure's map pick. He has decided to play it all out here on Neo Humanity. He has something planned, something in store for Serral.
Yeah, interesting here. This is a map that we have been starting to see the Zerg players pick up more often, but we were actually talking about it yesterday, that the reason that the Zerg players are starting to favor this map is because of stylistic play, where you go for very fast hive-tech units, whether that be Broodlords or Lurkers. And I'm not sure if that's something that Serral necessarily likes to do. I mean, of course, he's probably the best Zerg in the world, so I'm sure it's in his repertoire. It just might not be his most favored play at the moment.
Exactly. He can do whatever the hell he wants, but does he want to do whatever the hell he wants? It's a question. Does he want to divert away?
Is this a discussion of free will?
It always is, Poppy. Okay, it's ZVT, Poppy. My will is being taken away from me. I get 2-port BC'd all the time.
Your will to go on.
Smooch, puppy, smooch. Oh god, but yeah, I'm really curious to see how this plays out, what Serral has in store for us, how he's going to adapt to the map, and if Cure is going to be going for a much more aggressive style instead. As no, I have to eat my own words. 3cc once again from Cure.
This might be Copium, but he does sometimes play Hellbat Marauder off 3cc, so maybe we'll see something cool.
True, true. Gib, papi, gib.
Oh, you.
Oh, yo, Hojo. Yo, shout out to the sponsors of this tournament: Doyu, Hypergriff, TGI Fridays, Rio, and the Lightning Bolt. It's beautiful, man. Beautiful.
We love the lightning bolt. The lightning bolt Chinese symbols.
I missed a lot of the ads before the cast, unfortunately, so I didn't get to see the new ads. Did you get to? Have you seen like?
No, I didn't watch them. I saw that they were there and they looked very flash and cool, but I didn't have my sound on at the time. I was like, oh, okay. Serral is going to be doing something aggressive after all. You were talking about this at the start of the series, and I was saying, oh, I don't know if there's anything cheesy you can really do in ZBT, but this could just be for safety. It could also be for something very aggressive, like a 39 drone all-in.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on the drone count here to see when Serral does cut his workers and how many roaches he makes. Roach 1 for the time being is going to be hidden here from the eyes of Cure, as Cure is going for a 3cc Banshee standard setup.
Yeah, very, very standard safe setup coming out from him, and I do think this is going to match up quite well with the style that Serral is going for. With that layer going down, I don't think it's going to be an all-in coming out from Serral. He is just playing a very, very safe, careful style.
Yeah, and I guess it kind of makes sense after game number 1. You know, Serral, he's been able to assert himself in the late game in a macro situation, so maybe he just expects something different to come out from Cure instead. We can see that that's not the case, but Serral, you know, he's just being safe.
Yeah, being very safe, and this can still go into maybe a lurker, like that Cave Bob sort of style, where you go from the Roach Ravager into a Hydra Lurker setup. There's definitely options here to still go into higher tech. Could also be maybe a Lingbane Rav into Ultra. I think that's something else that could be really good on this map.
Definitely. There's so much possibilities, especially with that Hive tech available. I just want to see Serral say no to all of that and just play Lingbane Hydra anyway and still win. But we'll see, because we have Roach Speed on the way. He's invested into this tech. He may as well make use of it as well. I'm curious as to what the Evo Chamber upgrades are going to be. Oh, as he goes straight into that Infestation Pit.
Okay, so we do have that fast Infestation Pit. I actually think this is going to be for Infestors. It could be that kind of Roach Ravager Infestor style that we saw him playing around with.
Yeah, it wouldn't be too bad. I also didn't even notice that Serral did actually not even invest into Link Speed for a faster Roach Horn or a more efficient Lair and Roach Horn as well. A Hydra gets thrown down. Oh my god, is he gonna go Roach into Hydra Lurker?
Dark? Hello?
It's just very dark.
Yeah, this just totally looks like a Dark production tab.
Here we go. The Banshees are dipping into the main base. They're looking to do a little bit of damage, but they are fended off by those queens for the time being. The tech has also been hidden here. Hidden safe from Cure.
Yeah, keeps it safe and secret, and the Lurker did. Okay, we talked about it. We talked about early Hive styles. Yeah. We talked about fast Lurkers or fast Broodlords. It's going to be fast Lurkers coming out from Serral. This can still lead into Broodlords. Serral just kill his own Crypt Tumor?
He did, yeah, he did. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think that was intentional. You know what was crazy? Is he killed the Creep Tumor when his army got scanned. That's crazy. He got scanned and then he showed Cure. Yeah, he showed Cure. Look at this. I don't even care about my own tumors, but my own babies. I'm gonna kill them just like I'm gonna kill you.
I'm gonna kill you without Creep. I don't even need it. You think Creep's broken? I'll kill you without Creep.
Yes. The Hellion army on the right-hand side is going to get forced back once again. The Banshees are looking for some damage, looking to try and find a way in, but the Lurker Den's about to finish up, and we do have our first wave of Hydras on the way.
Okay, so there we go. So 6 Biden's being started up here.
Oh, is it your turn to be like, I just want to play some StarCraft?
Why?
Oh
Why?
my
Please
god.
don't show the clowns on ladder this abomination of a
Man,
build.
I said the same thing when I was casting Clem earlier today and he was playing Mech against Dark. I actually said verbatim the same thing. Oh
Oh
god.
god. Yeah, okay. Well, here
Uh,
we go. We have lurkers, we have roaches, we have sadness in my voice, and there's 7 dropper lords being started up. So it looks like Serral
oh,
not going to be looking to sit back to camp, play a long drawn out turtle game. He's going to be going for the kill here.
oh my god. Take me away, Poppy. Take me away. We're going to be loading up for massive Doom drop at the same time. Another double drop is here on the right hand side. Does get scouted by the Zonaga. Serral is fully aware, and he's looking to try and shut that down, and he's keeping those drop lords hidden.
Yeah, Serral might be smudging the Terran, but at least he's doing it in a very cool way. This is
Yeah.
super interesting what he's got going on here.
Exactly, exactly. It's one swift move coming out from Serral, making
Oh,
sure
wow.
he has control of the Zonaga.
This is going to be completely undetected until
Yeah.
it hits the natural. This is nasty. He is setting up an attack to go in on the 3rd at the same time, and he could totally take over this natural. I don't think Kyo's going to be able to retake this anytime soon.
Hey.
His Ghost Academy is only starting now.
Hey, you think he wants the natural? He can even go into the main base. Here we go. One singular lurker here. The army is getting into position. Is going to be able to clean up that first lurker, but the lurkers do take control of the main.
Yeah, they do, and this is a really awkward position. It does control the ramp, but Kyo, he's actually extremely well set up for this. I don't think this is going to get too much damage, as we do see he is in that main, starting to clean things up. I think he could potentially lift these buildings just to get a better concave on these lurkers.
Yeah, exactly. The queens are here as well. They were able to actually transfuse some of these lurkers and keep them alive.
Oh.
The tank's having a hard time engaging here. The lurkers are actually taking over the production.
Yeah, we have buildings going down. We have very important buildings going down. The starport and the factory. Looks like Cure might not have a scan at the moment.
There we go. We do finally have that scan. At the same time, Serral is looking to knock down the front door as well. His main army's pushing in towards that natural base. Is not quite breaking through. It's mainly a roach-based army, but the lurkers were able to take down those factories.
Yeah, and those factories are incredibly important because he desperately needs tanks against this roach Hydra composition.
He really does. Looks like with the scan, it looks like the lurkers in the main are finally going to get cleaned up. But Serral, he dives on top of the tanks here at the 3rd base. No, he will not break on through. Again, Roach Hydra can sometimes be a bit of a clunky army, and Serral loses a lot there.
Yeah, that didn't quite work out the way he was looking for, as we do have a bit of a tactical retreat from Serral, leaving behind a few lurkers in annoying places here. And behind this, Kyo just desperately trying to get his factories up, trying to get his bases mining once again. I mean, that was a crazy sequence and trading pretty well. Kyo slightly better trades, but in the end, it's going to be really important for him to get some counter damage here.
It really is, and pushing up a ramp into lurkers is going to be a tough ask. There are only 2 lurkers, but we have 4 more on the way, and Cure, he has missed his window. He missed his timing. He cannot push in.
Yeah, he cannot, as we do see Serral continuing to put the pressure on both players on very low worker count, so it's going to be a scrappy affair here. Serral running in, trying to take out these SCVs as well. Nice hold position from Cure is going to make that difficult to do.
Yeah, I mean, we want to get rid of these roaches. They're kind of dead supply at the moment. Oh, we don't want to throw away our hydras, though. Oh, as Serral is bleeding out a lot right now. He shakes his own head there on the camera as well, not liking what just happened. And Serral has lost a lot of momentum.
Yeah, possibly losing a little bit too much all at once there, and that is going to allow Kyo to set up this front base. This is one of the features of this map, Near Humanity, as well. Once you set up this front base, you can kind of start expanding back behind that, and it does unlock a few more extra bases for you, but Kyo losing a full medevac of bio there without much in return.
Yeah, I was really surprised that was able to happen because we actually don't have Hydra speed. It like, I think Serral noticed it as well when he was trying to stutter step, and he now has it on the way. His Hydras just aren't as effective as they otherwise could be. We do see Kira looking for another way in there. Vipers have arrived, and Hydra Lurker Viper can trade relatively well. He can keep up with this for the time being.
Yeah, I mean, you get 3 good units. Sounds like a pretty good composition to me. He is going to be chasing down this army here. Nice little drop there. Beautiful split off from Cure. These power bombs not going to be doing too much damage to him, but looks like the Queens should be able to at least slow this attack down.
Yeah, they do, but the Marines, they do get into the main base. 5 workers go down. On top of that, we have confirmation. We get a scout of that Greater Spire.
Yeah, so Cure now, he's going to be able to start going into Ghost, going into maybe Thors as well. We see Vikings getting started up. He knows he desperately needs anti-air right now, both for the Vipers and potentially for the Corruptor Broodlord later down the line.
Yeah, exactly. That Ghost production is going to be crucial. Oh, the pickup!
Very
The
cute.
airborne goes down in the end. At the same time, a massive lurker run by here towards the third base is going to go a little bit undetected. Oh, he's even going to be able to lay siege upon that factory.
Yeah, once again, the factory in serious danger here. We saw that was such a big thing for Serral to take out those factories in the early game. Took a lot of the momentum out of a potential counterattack, and there we go. The factory does go down once again. We're losing quite a lot of ghosts as well. Finally, Cloak does kick in. Serral going for a big attack here, but I don't know how successful this is going to be.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, the Blinding Clouds are okay, but we don't really have too much on the ground for Serral right now. The Bio Army's just a little bit too good, and it's going to force Serral back.
Oh, yeah, and Serral positioning these lurkers extremely well. It's so hard for Q to engage in on this.
Yeah, it really is. The lurkers are going to be able to hold the line for the time being. The Lings go for one of those exposed tanks as well. The tank is going to go down, but Cure, he's pushing in.
Yeah, he's pushing in, going to be trying to focus down these lurkers. Does get them in the end, but really costly trades there.
Yeah, they are all going to be going down, and now Cure's rushing across the map. His economy isn't amazing. Serral was able to get up to that 92 worker count. He's diving into this army before it sieges.
Yeah, Cure is just not able to get momentum his way, and he is desperate for it.
He is desperate for it. We do see the Ling Hydra pushing on forward. The Bailings do veer off towards that mineral line, and it is going to go off. The mineral line goes down. Oof. 17 SCVs. GG gets called, and Serral brings back that game. Oh my god.
Yikes, GG, and Cure once again in disbelief. How can he stop the onslaught of Serral? Clean to crazy games coming out from Serral.
Yeah, GG. I mean, things were looking really scary there for Serral. Like, he was bleeding out a lot of roaches, a lot of hydras as well. But it's something that we've seen in the past, as it looks like the stream is going to be going down. But it's something we've seen in the past where Serral, he was able to slowly max out, slowly get up to that 90 plus drone count. The drops eventually did subside from Cure, and Serral was able to take control of his side of the map and then finally start trading again. Even if it was a little bit inefficient, he could still trade nonetheless.
I feel like he was always in control. Come on.
Wait, you're crazy. True, puppy, true. He was in control the entire time, and with that, he takes the 2-0 over Cure. And yeah, that's going to be a pretty big win here for Team Basilisk, as you know, the WTL admin is going to be looking to get the stream back up and running. Up next should be Trigger versus SOS.
Yeah, awesome. This is going to be a really good one. I haven't really seen much of SOS since his return.
Yeah, I haven't seen much of him either. We just haven't had the luxury of casting too much from SOS, which is why he's a bit of a question mark, you know? Like, how good is he right now? It's been a couple of years since he's been active. Coming back was a bit of something a little bit surprising that a lot of us were not expecting. So I want to see. I'm excited, Poppy. I'm excited.
Yeah, I am too, but Trigger is a terrifying opponent to come up against in PvP.
Mm-hmm. He really is. He really is. And for those wondering, I believe SOS is going to need to win 2-0 here to force the ace match. If Trigger takes one game, uno mas, one game is all he needs, then Team Basilisk will win the series.
Yeah, so there's a lot of pressure there. A lot of pressure on SOS.
There we go, mate. The pressure is on, but mate, he's the $100,000 man, Papi. You know he's all about that
Mm.
pressure. I mean, the pressure does nothing to him, Papi. He's always under high pressure. He's in the air. He's in the sky.
What?
do you do you know what I'm talking about? It's before your time, Papi. So,
Oh yeah, no, I missed out on all of that. I think
uh,
I've seen some SOS games, but I would have only just been playing StarCraft when I saw them.
fair enough, fair enough. Okay, so story time, and Kura can jump in, I guess, if she wants, as we're
Mhm.
just trying to get the stream back up and running. There was an IM Katowice. What year was it? Was it 2014? IM Katowice 2014, where Red Eye, yep, Red Eye, thank you, Red Eye and ESL had the brilliant idea, just an amazing, totally not controversial and crazy idea of hosting the IM World Finals and making it winner takes all. Win they
Okay.
they paid for the flights and the accommodation, of course, but they made it literally winner takes all. Second place didn't get anything.
Oh god.
Which is great. $100,000 first place prize made $100,000, and SOS won it. It was, I believe, it was a Hero versus SOS Grand Finals, and SOS became the $100,000 man, mate. He walked away with everything. Everyone else walked away with nothing. And his, at the time, Jinair was his team, to congratulate him on such a big
Hold
fucking
on.
win. And it was a big thing. He actually got his face printed on a plane, because Jinair is an airline
Oh,
in Korea. So he got his
that's
face
sick.
printed on a plane. Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
Also, I'm pretty sure a bunch of those of the games in
Koreans.
that match were like 2 gates and stuff.
Yeah, he cheesed his way to a victory, mate.
Oh, you gotta do it. Yeah.
Yeah. It was crazy. And I remember there was a group of Koreans. It was Daisy, it was Tasia, it was Polt. There was like a group of like 6 or 7 Koreans that had made a deal together. They're like, all right, guys, if any one of us win, we'll split the money. Okay. So someone can get something. We'll arrange it. So like if you made it to like the round of 16 or round of 8 or whatever, then we can split it up in some way. And SOS wasn't a part of that. you could see the group of Korean pro gamers like cheering for their whoever was like on their like quote unquote team, who had like agreed to this, and they were cheering so
Yeah.
hard. And yeah, nah, mate.
Wow. That's wild. Wild times.
Oh my god, crazy, Poppy, crazy. And after that, he became his nickname for a little bit was $$O$ instead of SOS.
That's Chad. I'm down with that.
Just a little bit of Heart of the Swarm lore for you people in the chat as well, if you weren't around for that era. As it looks like the clean feed has returned. We are getting ready for that PvP. Oh boy.
How do I get to that?
Are you
got it.
do you have a link, Kurt? Do you have a link?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay. Beautiful.
All right. So here we go. It's going to be Trigger matching up against SOS. Trigger getting the nod big time here on strategy by the looks of it.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, big
Oh,
time.
no, that must be SOS, surely.
That's got to be SOS, yeah.
Yeah.
SOS with the 10 in strategy. Let's go, Papi, as we're loading on in. Game 1 is going to be a near humanity, and spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the Canadian Protoss for Team BASILISK, Trigger.
And in the top left-hand corner for ABYDOS, this is SOS.
They just don't give you enough time. Oh god, but here we go. SOS rocking his. Is that a Team NV jersey that he's wearing?
Yep. Fine, Papi.
Yeah, so good, Papi. It's
He
so
likes-
good. They're fighting for the jersey.
Oh no.
The throwbacks. They're fighting for the jersey. Take it off, Papi. Take it off. Oh.
Yeah, I'm excited for this one just because Neo Humanity, Creative Protoss, This is kind of what I was kind of hoping to see, some creative wild strats when I first saw this map, and it's sort of just turned into a camp map, but hopefully SOS has something cool to show us.
Yeah, here we go. I am ready to bear witness to the chaotic mind of SOS. He is a very experienced player, very old school, has been around for a long time, one of the best in the world. He is an IM Katowice champion, a BlizzCon champion, all kinds of championships. But now, we're in his twilight years, returning after a long hiatus, after a long retirement. But they pulled him out of retirement, Poppy. He thought he was done.
For one last job.
I'm too old for this. He's gonna do it, mate. One man to do it all. John McClane.
What?
SOS.
Well, it is an interesting clash of styles here because Trigger, he's kind of the up-and-coming new generation. He's one of the most promising new players, really making leaps and bounds in the last couple years and looking like an extremely strong contender these days.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, 100%, mate. Trigger has been improving so much over such a short period of time, especially compared to the overall lifespan of StarCraft. So I'm sure Trigger SOS is not familiar with him. He's like, who the hell is this guy? I'm coming in. I see your heroes. I see your classics. I'm even a little bit familiar with Serral, but Trigger, mate, he thinks he can go toe-to-toe with me? Oh, show us the pylon.
Yeah, there we go. The proxy going to be coming down for SOS, so looks like it's going to be something a little bit sneaky here. As Trigger just opening safe with these stalkers, getting up into his natural expansion here, but SOS, it looks like he's going to be going for something cheeky here. What's it going to be?
Yeah, let's have a look here. I mean, SOS, when it comes to tech, he does have a Nexus behind this. Trigger is going for a bit of a faster Twilight Council opener instead. There's that Twilight Council. SOS could be looking to throw down a proxy Dark Shrine.
Yeah, it certainly feels that way, as we do have SOS just looking for a bit of map control with the sentries, with the adepts as well. And both players pretty comfortable to go for at least what's looking here like a macro game.
Yeah, everything is looking quite standard, and this isn't as fast as proxy Dark Shrines usually are either, so going to be a little bit offbeat depending on what gets thrown out there. Blink does begin for Trigger. SOS, actually slips into the main.
Yeah, okay. Does slip into the main with those adepts. Trigger with a very quick probe pool, going to be trying to deny too much damage from going down, but 3 probes do go down. That's very nice considering how much those adepts have already gotten done in terms of map control. As, yeah, we see that proxy DT shrine going down.
Yeah, the Dark Shrine is upon us. 2 more adepts are being warped in across the map as well to try and harass. We do see a hallucinated scout from SOS going to confirm at least some of the army here. Nice movement from Trigger. He does actually catch those adepts. Oh, he wants the sentry. Oh.
Yeah, both players just skirmishing all over the map, and the more that SOS can create chaos, the harder it's going to be for Trigger to work out what's happening here.
Yeah, I mean, there is a robo now starting up for Trigger, but is it too late? I believe it should finish up in time, and the Dark Shrine has been scouted.
He finds it. The Stalker's going to be coming over here, and they should be able to shut this down before it can get up.
Yeah, it looks like maybe the Adepts kind of tipped Trigger off that there was something there. I'm sure he was just looking for a reinforcing pylon to warp in those Adepts, but does come across the Dark Shrine. The Dark Shrine does survive, though. We have a Prism on the way. SOS may be looking to repower that, or, he doesn't need to repower it to warp in DTs.
Yeah, looks like Trigger didn't get the time that he needed to shut that down. SOS getting himself back on the map as soon as he can just to stop Trigger from being able to clean that up. So he does have the opportunity now to warp in some DTs before that goes down.
Yeah, we'll see if he does make use of it. There we go. 1 DT is being morphed in. We have a 3rd at Nexus on the way from both players as well. And SOS isn't going to be over-investing. I think he only made a singular DT, so yeah, not really too fussed about that. It looks like it is in that prism, but oh my god! It is being chased down.
Get away from me. The Prism hides off in the corner here. We have Charge coming out. We have that third Nexus on the way as well. So SOS absolutely keeping up with Trigger so far, despite kind of branching off on his own little journeys through the tech piles.
Yeah, exactly. As for the most part, we do see Trigger keeping up with SOS. You know, the third base is relatively around the same time. We have plenty of detection out from both players as well. Immortal production commencing. We're taking up further into Charge. Yeah, we're kind of settling down into a much more standard PvP.
Yeah, certainly. And I'm kind of interested to see what is the plan going to be from here for Trigger. Feels like he has played a pretty defensive, reactive style so far, but as we go into the mid game, he can start to set up his own attacks here, his own ideas in this game. But yeah, so far looking to be the defender, which is very interesting. Maybe SOS's reputation preceding him here.
Yeah, exactly. As I mean, with this, SOS can maybe take advantage of the situation. He does confirm the probe count to add to the third base with that hallucination. We do see a bit of a gateway explosion on the way as well from SOS. With those 6 gates on the way, he may not be looking to take a 4th. We'll see.
Yeah, maybe not, as we do see the Twilight Archive is going to be coming down as well, and he will have a little bit of an advantage over Trigger when it comes to having that fast charge. Trigger very active on the map, will be taking out this DT before it can go for the run by.
DTs do get cleaned up. We have another DT on the way here from SOS. I'm surprised that the Dark Shrine is still alive, by the way, so SOS can still continue to make use of it in some way, shape, or form. Main army is going to be moving on forward here to try and catch some of these Stalkers.
Yeah, it's a good force field, but Blink is still there, so yeah, it's an interesting approach that SOS has gone for here, actually skipping out on his own Blink to prioritize charge. So I wonder if he's going to be using that to go for an early attack here. So we do see DT going to be slipping into the natural.
Oh, yeah, and damage is going to be done here, despite the fact that the Dark Shrine was scattered far earlier and we have detection. DTs are still getting probe kills.
Yeah, it's something we were talking about earlier. A lot of DT harass is based on timing, and if you do sneak in a DT just at the perfect time, it can still get a lot of damage, even if your opponent knows about it.
Yeah, exactly. You know, you want to slip in the middle of a fight, in the middle of a big engagement where your opponent is focusing elsewhere, focusing their attention elsewhere. And speaking of, we do see SOS just continuing to commit here to his Gateway army. We have +2 on the way, we have Blink, but Trigger is taking a bit of a different approach. He's working towards his disruptors.
Was that Trigger's observer that was sitting over SOS's army?
Yeah, I was just following it. Yeah. Yeah, it's still there.
It's still there? Yeah.
Wait, is that his? Is that Trigger's? It is.
It
right?
looks like his.
It's
looks
blue.
Yeah, it's blue.
It's blue. Yeah. As here we go. Despite that, we do see SOS trying to slip into the natural base, but now Trigger is in position. He's all going to try and dive on top of this army.
Yeah, that he is. We do have those observers tucked away. It's nice and safe so the DTs can't do too much, but that's a lot of Immortals. Trigger is starting to focus him down. 2 of the Immortals go down already, but the Zealot's getting on top of the Immortal, getting on top of the Stalkers as well. SOS is pushing Trigger back into his base, and his supply is rising.
Yeah, SOS, he doesn't have as large of a Stalker count, but he has a very high-quality army with those Immortals and with those Archons. They pack a massive punch, and Trigger is forced to give up his natural. He doesn't want to. He wants to try and push in once again.
Wow, but the natural is going to be going down. Brutal timing coming out from SOS. I love the way he's keeping these Zealots safely tucked away in the back here as well. It just pins Trigger Zealots. He can never really commit with the Zealots, and just beautiful control coming out from SOS, using all those units so well.
I love the positioning by both players here. Both Zealots are waiting for the moment when suddenly everything hits the fan and they just go for it. And here we go. Trigger's pushing on in. He has his first Disruptor as well.
Yeah, Disruptor going to be coming on in. No hesitation from SOS. We'll be taking that one down straight away. And we do have the commitment to a shield battery overcharge over here for Trigger. But he is losing the fight down south. This has been so magnificently controlled by SOS.
Yeah, so meticulous, so controlled. And in the end, the overcharge is going to be running out. SOS has rotated over towards that third base. He's going to be able to take down these shield batteries. We have a second Disruptor coming out.
Yeah, good Disruptor shot going out. Is going to be taking out the Immortals, but there is just not enough there for Trigger. SOS taking game 1.
GG, well played. SOS with a very interesting play style, or at least tech path as well. Like, it's really interesting for him to delay Blink the way that he did, to hyper focus on those tech structures as well. He never really overcommitted to the DTs. I think he only made like 2 DTs that game. Like, and they dealt a little bit of damage, don't get me wrong, but yeah, the army control is really what stood out there from SOS.
Yeah, 100%. That was such a well-crafted attack there. And with that, he does almost tie things up. If he can win this last game, he will be taking ABYDOS into an ace match. So the hopes are resting on his shoulders.
I want it. I want the ace match so badly, just because I want to see SOS versus Serral.
You reckon they send SOS?
I mean, who do they? It's not going to be Cure, right? There's no way they send out Cure.
Guess they can't send Cure again unless he has a snipe build prepared.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, I believe the ace match, the map is predetermined. So if we do get there, it's whoever is ready for it. And I do think that a Protoss is going to have a better shot against Serral. Whether it's SOS or Nightmare, I'm not too certain. You know, it's going to be up to ABYDOS. But we're getting ahead of ourselves, because we're going to be continuing the series. Trigger, his map of choice will be Dragon Scales.
Then Mondo.
Yo,
so
Mondo, let's go, Poppy. Let's go.
Boy, Mondo, let's go.
He started following our channel, Poppy. He's following our channel.
Or if we had Mondo versus Roddy, that'd be sick. I mean, Mondo's probably a bit too good, but
that'd be amazing. Fun. Yeah, it would be fun.
Imagine if both teams like agreed to bring the ace down to that. That'd be so cool.
That would be amazing. That'd be amazing. Oh my god. Yeah, I'm just trying to think about the different like situations here. Realistically, I feel like Team BASILISK have to pick Serral. I think that's the obvious choice. But yeah, it would be great to see them go in. Meanwhile, is that a new stat? It isn't. Have we always had mentality?
Yeah, okay. The XY stat, the mentality of the strong. I think they might have called it something a little bit different. But
did they just call it mental last time? Was it mental?
Mindset. It was
minds. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Yeah. Mindset. Yeah. Why did they change it?
I don't know.
It's also the only word that isn't in all caps.
Okay. Yeah. Because they changed it.
That's why it looks so weird to me, right?
It looks nice. I like it.
Yeah, it's like a little bit different. It's like these are the ape stats, and then you got the mental. You know, this is
the bourgeois stat.
Yeah, the sophisticated, Poppy, sophisticated. You know, upper class.
This is when you're done messing around with all those silly stats. We can have this this nice stat, this polite stat.
As spawning in the top left hand corner of Dragon Scales, we have representing Team BASILISK. Trigger.
At the bottom of the ABYDOS did SOS. Help.
Let's go, Bobby. I also love Emperor Foodball showing up in the chat. The important question today, still have the voice lines. Let's start the game.
Let's start this game. Let's get this shit on the road.
Every time.
No. That was just for the finals.
Yeah, that's only for the finals is when they get the voice acting going. So I'm sure they'll do it again. Maybe they'll get someone else to do the voice lines, but that's for the playoffs. That's for the playoffs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is for the playoffs. You could be forgiven for thinking this is the playoffs with such an amazing matchup here.
Yeah,
it probably will be the playoffs.
These two teams will most likely make it to the playoffs anyway. Oh my god! Also, I was keeping an eye on the chat. It was getting rowdy, Poppy. That was the Terrans were coming out strong earlier, Poppy.
I think you were just flirting with the chat at some point.
I mean, we're all flirting, Poppy, bro. Oh god. Okay, I'll keep it to within the cast, Poppy. I'll keep it in, Poppy. I'll keep it in.
I'm getting jealous, like.
Oh my god, what's going on here with you and Colossal Gulp? What's going on?
Hey, we can share.
Oh,
as we do have a gate expand coming down from both players. So something that has been very heavily in the meta, at least in the last map pool, and we still definitely see it from time to time, especially on the ramp maps here.
Yeah, exactly. You know, we have those gate expand setups. SOS is going to be throwing down his Nexus. It looks like Trigger is going to be delaying his own accord as well. So maybe looking to throw down and be a little bit more aggressive. Instead, we have that probe out on the map, going over Rio.
Oh, come back. Yeah.
He wants it. Yeah, let's go.
Okay, yeah, it looks like Trigger kind of faking out that he wanted to take the base, but we are going to be having... Oh, no! I saw it!
He saw it!
No way.
Oh my god.
There we go. He's going to be dipping back in, takes out the probe. No proxy for you. We see Trigger visibly moving in his chair after that goes down because he is going for a 4-gate here.
I was moving in my chair. I could feel the shockwave from SOS. It's crazy, Puppy. As we do have a 4-gate setup here from Trigger. 1 gate's already done. We have 2 back at home. Actually, all 3 as well. Everything is going to be set up, and this is all going to get scouted and confirmed by SOS as the Adept sees everything.
Wow, brilliant gameplay coming out from SOS. He is not messing about. He wants ABYDOS to take this one down and get the win. So he's fighting hard for that, and he scouts everything. He's getting his batteries, getting his Void Ray on the way, getting everything he needs to hold this. And yeah, you can see it in Trigger's face. He knows that he is really up against the wall now.
I mean, he can't transition. Like, it's not like he can decide to throw down his Nexus. It's too far gone at this point. He has to commit to the 4-gate all-in off of 1 base. Meanwhile, SOS has the Void Ray on the way. He's getting a 3rd shield battery. He's going to have an overcharge as well. He only still has 1 gateway defensively, so he doesn't have that much production. But as long as he controls this well, he should be okay.
Yeah, he just needs to avoid losing it. As you already said, that overcharge is going to be finishing on an ARB. We have a lot of Stalkers here. We're starting to get into that one-shot range. Actually, getting quite a bit of work done here is Trigger. Does back off there, curiously. I feel like he could probably stay and take this fight. Second Void Ray is coming out.
It's not Toast's pile-up, Bobby. You can get it. He goes for the Void Ray instead. The Void Ray barely does survive. We do have a Sentry being warped in for some force fields as well. And there we go, cutting up that army. We have the overcharge.
Yeah, okay, so this is something that I missed because I'm not a Protoss player, so I suck at PvP. But I think he was dancing back and forth like that because he wanted to bait out the shield battery overcharge. And SOS was so disciplined in waiting to use it, but we do have that Void Ray going now. The second Void Ray very low. The pylons are in huge trouble now. Wow. I think Trigger might be doing it.
Yeah, I think maybe SOS thought that, I don't know, that he wouldn't commit as hard. Regardless, the gateway is now depowered. We have no production capability. The Void Ray goes down. Whoa. GG gets called, and Trigger, he gets scattered. He doesn't care. He fights back, and he puts a point on the board. He does it for Team Basilisk.
He is happy with that one, and rightly so. As yeah, that looked pretty one-sided actually in the end.
Yeah, exactly. There was no defensive robo. There was just no additional gateways either. There was just 2 Void Rays trying to hold, trying to defend, and yeah, SOS seemed very unprepared. It was very surprising to see. I guess he just was, a little bit shocked by just how much had shown up there, despite seeing everything. Interesting.
Yeah, that hold kind of just didn't work, and I'm not really sure why, because it seemed like he had what he wanted.
Yeah, I think maybe another thing that was a little bit wonky about it, it looks like SOS was a little bit uncertain. He threw down a Forge, like halfway through the defense, so it looked like he wanted cannons, but like it was really late as well, so he wasn't able to get any cannons up and running whatsoever, and he didn't kind of invest in that tech. So yeah, maybe just unfamiliar with how to actually react to that situation, because we very rarely see 1-base 4-gate all-ins.
Yeah, I guess the 1-gate meta is past SOS's time, so he might not be as familiar with it, as practiced with it, and it's something that Trigger's an expert in. And yeah, now that I think about it, actually, I was thinking, I've seen cannons used to defend a 4-gate from the 1-gate player, and it's actually Trigger that I've seen doing it. So maybe Trigger can teach him how to do it.
Oh, he can get some coaching, Papi. As we go, congratulations to Team Basilisk. They do take the series 4-2. SOS stumbling a little bit towards the end there. He had great scouting, but the reaction, the response was where he was lacking a little bit. We're going to be going on a short 4-minute break. When we return, our second match of the night, Platinum Heroes versus Invictus Gaming.
Awesome. See you soon.